checked the Music Bank charts lately? Because something huge is happening right now, and it has SB19 fans buzzing like never before. Seriously, why is SB19 dominating the Korea Music Bank voting scene at this very moment? Well, let's break it down. You see, as of today, SB19 isn't just somewhere on the leaderboard. They're sitting comfortably at the very top of the Music Bank online voting charts. And they're not barely scraping by either. They're outpacing some of the biggest and most established names in K-pop right now. Their lead is so solid you can literally see the gap widening every hour. Fans from Asia, the Middle East, the US, Latin America, Europe, everywhere, are flooding the Music Bank voting portal like it's a global mission. Every tap, every refresh, every point, counted and guarded. But what's even more impressive is the discipline behind it. This isn't a one-time voting spike. This is day after day, hour after hour consistency. Atin are showing up like clockwork, keeping SB19 not just in the race, but firmly in front. It's dedication that feels more like a movement than a fan effort. And when you compare this to past Filipino acts who've tried to break into the K-pop ecosystem, what SB19 is doing right now is honestly on another level. No P-pop group has ever triggered this kind of real-time, sustained global engagement. This moment is more than a win, it's a statement. P-pop isn't trailing behind anymore. It's stepping into global music spaces and making undeniable waves. Now, if you're outside Korea and wondering how fans are helping SB19 climb the Music Bank charts, the answer is actually more straightforward than it seems. International voting is completely possible. You just need to plug into the right system. Most of the voting happens through official or partner apps that Music Bank uses for each cycle. Sometimes it's platforms like MuBeat or Fancast. Other times it's show-specific portals that open only for a particular week. The easiest way to keep up is to follow the updates shared by SB19's voting teams. They always post the exact app, link, and steps you need for that week, so you're not guessing or downloading the wrong thing. Once you know where the vote is happening, all you really need to do is make an account on that platform and verify it. The apps are designed for global users, so the process is usually quick. Sign up, confirm your email or basic details, and you're set. After that, it's just a matter of going into the Music Bank voting section and selecting SB19. What really makes international fans effective, though, isn't just individual votes, it's coordination. Atin around the world set alarms for voting windows, rotate between time zones, and keep the votes flowing even when others are asleep. Some fans even prepare early by collecting in-app points through daily logins or watching ads, so when the voting period opens, they already have a stash ready to spend. And voting is only one side of the effort. Visibility matters just as much. Fans share updates, post reminders, organize hashtag trends, and spread SB19 content across X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Every share counts because it keeps SB19 circulating in Korean timelines as well, not just Filipino ones. That extra visibility helps boost their chances on the broadcast metrics Music Bank tracks. The real secret is that nobody is doing this alone. Fandom teams create guides, share screenshots, run group chats for real-time vote counts, and help new fans who are unsure where to start. If you're participating for the first time, joining these groups makes everything 10 times easier. They walk you through it step by step. So yes, even if you're thousands of miles away from Seoul, your vote still matters. And when thousands of international fans move together in sync, that's exactly how SB19 stays at the top of the Music Bank charts. Finally, small actions add up. A few votes from a bunch of people every hour become thousands by the weekend. Combine daily voting with streaming on YouTube, sharing updates, and following the fandom's coordinated schedule, and you're doing exactly what's kept SB19 at the top. Steady, organized, global pressure that converts into real points on Music Bank's scoreboard. Now imagine SB19 wins on Music Bank. This wouldn't be just another trophy or another nice win. It would be a moment that changes the story of P-pop in a very real way. This is because Music Bank is one of Korea's longest-running and most respected music programs. K-pop groups pour everything into trying to win on that stage. So if a Filipino group steps into that same space and actually takes the top spot, that's history unfolding right in front of us. A win like that sends a clear message to the entire industry. P-pop isn't simply participating in the global scene. It deserves to be there. It shows that Filipino artists can stand shoulder to shoulder with top K-pop acts, not as visitors or underdogs, but as real contenders with a growing international presence. And because Music Bank has such a wide reach, a victory would be noticed everywhere. by Korean viewers, global fans, industry leaders, producers, media outlets, and even casual listeners who might be hearing about SB19 for the first time. The impact wouldn't stop there. Representation would rise because millions of people would see a Filipino group leading on a major Korean platform, which can inspire younger artists and change how people view P-pop overall. It also adds credibility to the entire genre. A Music Bank win basically tells the industry that P-pop has the numbers, the dedication, and the influence to compete on global terms. That shift alone changes how opportunities open up. More collaborations, more international invitations, more media attention, and more recognition for other Filipino acts who follow. So when we talk about SB19 potentially winning Music Bank, we're not just rooting for one group. We're watching the possibility of P-pop stepping into a completely new era, one that could change how Asian pop as a whole moves forward. And that's why every single vote feels meaningful. It isn't just a tap on a screen. It's a moment that could become part of P-pop history. Looking back over the years, Filipino artists have definitely shown up in K-pop spaces. Guest appearances, collaborations, cameos, even trainee stories that made headlines. But dominating the actual charts, leading real-time voting on a major Korean music show, that almost never happened. Most Filipino acts were recognized, but they didn't have the numbers, the structured campaigns, or the global push to take over the rankings. SB19's situation is completely different. What they've built isn't just a fandom, it's a force. Atin has grown into a community that's organized, strategic, and globally connected. They're not just showing love, they're moving like a unified engine that understands how voting systems work, how trends spread, and how online momentum translates into wins. That kind of structure gives SB19 an advantage no Filipino act has ever had stepping into the K-pop arena. And because of that, this moment goes beyond the typical fan effort. It feels cultural. Every vote submitted, every streaming party, every hashtag wave, it all blends into one loud message being heard around the world. P-pop isn't just participating anymore. It's competing. It's being recognized. It's being taken seriously in spaces where Filipino artists were once overlooked or underestimated. That's why people are watching SB19 so closely right now. It's not just about topping a chart. It's about proving that a homegrown Filipino act can dominate internationally on a platform where the world's biggest K-pop groups fight for the spotlight. So now the big question is this: can SB19 keep this incredible momentum going long enough to secure that Music Bank win? And for those who've been voting non-stop, how are you keeping your streak alive? Are you setting reminders, joining group campaigns, tagging along with team votes? Tell us in the comments, and let's get this conversation going. If you're excited about SB19's rise and want more real-time updates, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. You won't want to miss a single vote because right now, every point counts.